Welcome into tonight's Ryco Performance Friday Night NiS Top Split from the Chicago Street Race. I am Austin Edstrom, standing alongside Sheldon Atkins, and Austin Derbyshire is behind the production booth. As always, we're going to have a little bit of an abbreviated pre-race here, just 1 minute until qualifying is completed. This is a tough racetrack to get around. We saw it in that Hay Open on Monday night. It was a little bit of a wreck fest. Sheldon, do you think we're going to see anything a little bit cleaner here tonight?
Well, hopefully Roman's done a little bit of practice and has figured out how to get into turn one without hitting the Ryco TKO. But, I mean, I'm not expecting much different, man. This track's not going to get any easier throughout the week. It's very technical, very bumpy, very hard to get around. I'm expecting a lot of chaos throughout the pack. Not much room for you to get around here without hitting the wall, so them lap cars are going to be trouble.
Well, and the good news is it looks like Roman's going to be starting second, so not too many cars in front of him that he could pile into going into turn one. It looks like we are going to have time for some broadcaster picks. I'm picking the old Conky Donkey. He was dominant on Monday night. I think he's going to do the three-peat this week.
I mean, I can see why you want to go with the old Conky Donkey because he's probably going to hit him with the conky again tonight, but I got good feelings for Roger Pierce. Looking good all week. I think he might have had something for the Conky Donkey Monday night before he got taken out.
And we're doing the Derby Double Up for the producer's pick. The Derby Double Up is back this week, this Friday, going with Sean Conklin. Derby just cannot be original. We should have been keeping track of that all year long. But we're all gridding up for the Chicago Street Race, the NiS version of it. And look at that, the Conky Donkey lining up the field. He's going to be starting up in the first place spot. His teammate Nicholas Roman on his outside in second. Jacob Schneider is going to be lining up row number 2 with Connor Nixon on his outside in 4th place, with Roger Pierce in 5th and Pedro Oliveira in 6th. Daniel Dean is going to be lining up in 7th with Matt Baker on his outside. John Payson in 9th with Toga Hisada rounding out the top 10.
In 11th place, we got Paul Bergoli with Nolan Hodgson in 12th. 13th is going to be Tommy Gossett, followed by James Miller in 14th. 15th place, we're going to have Gavin Simpson with John Waitendorf in 16th. 17th is going to be Austin Fitzgerald, followed by Daniel Keene in 18th. And then round out your top 20 is going to be Edgar Montello and Jerry LePage.
Northern Mata is going to be starting in 21st with Miller Bonds in 22nd. Jacob Skaters starting in the 23rd place spot with Kevin Bujalasa in 24th. Luis Villalopondo in 25th with Brett Stevens in 26th. Brad Wynn in 27th with Zachary Livingood on his outside in 28th. Jason Wallet in 29th with Jacob Klein in 30th. Daniel Forgerini in 31st. Devin Stove in 32nd. With Lucas Abreu rounding out your 33-car field tonight for the Chicago Street Race. Big field, which I think means a lot of crashes, especially after what we saw Monday night. I think we're predicting 10 or less cars on the lead lap, and most of that is going to be from attrition. At least that's my prediction.
Yeah, and I still can't get over what we saw with the Monday night B Open. Conklin winning that race, putting on a sizable gap to second place with the toe link knocked out of it. Now the last lap goes, knocks the whole front end off, and still comes across the line in P1.
Just goes to show that anything can happen here. It's a little bit of a wild card, to say the least. This place is a little hairy. Not a lot of easy corners, a lot of tight areas. Just one little mistake can put you in the fence and can ruin your day. And remember, in that A Open, Conklin actually got lucky on one of those spins. He had a big slide himself going into turn 6. Pounded the outside wall somehow, some way. That car was not damaged, and he was able to continue on and build out a huge lead and win that race. So you can get lucky a couple times, but I feel like more times than not, you tag the wall, you're going to be bending a toe link, doing something bad to the suspension of this thing. So better safe than sorry.
I think it's cool that they designed a track in Chicago and somehow were able to incorporate the overabundance of parking lots into the track.
With 33 of them, it's pretty likely that we're going to get one, right? You know, we don't really have our first spot where you really think it could happen until you get down to turn 4, because it really narrows up into that little alleyway. That is like the first area where you're like, okay, we're a parking lot city. And I really feel like 16th, 17th, somewhere in that area, coming down here on turn 1 or on lap number 1, I think is going to be a little dangerous.
Yeah, I'm expecting quite a few of them here. Place is tricky.
Well, especially the second half of the racetrack. Everything from here on is straight parking lot. Nowhere to go.
Yeah. Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Nowhere. You barely even run the line. Such
If
a
there's one car
tricky
sideways,
layout.
nah. You better take a tow if you're parked 90 degrees against the wall there, because you're not backing up. You're not getting across traffic.
No. I mean, you can try.
Sean Conklin, Nicholas Roman, Jacob Snyder, the top three coming down into turn one, and this is a really strange restart zone. You can go very, very early. So the front end of this field is going to get spread out on the start, I do believe. Conklin being on the outside might be able to get a good jump on Roman. Get himself clear before we get down to turn one, but we're just seconds away from finding out. Sean Conklin around the last corner. He stomps on the gas, and we are racing in the streets of Chicago.
Conklin with a really good jump. He's already going to get a 5/10 advantage on second place. Nicholas Roman. Everybody's kind of trying to single file out here going into the first turn. Got a little bit of side-by-side.
Oh, somebody hard on the fence further back in the pack. Miller Bonds, I believe, might have found a piece of that. I think it's Daniel Keene that went in heavy into turn one, missing the front bumper.
Man,
It's going to be your number 16. It was a huge, huge bit of contact. That GoPro Chevy on the outside coming down to turn number one.
It's locked up right there. You see it? Smoke coming off the tires. Just comes in. Once you get that thing locked up, you cannot get it back down to make the corner. Such a tight radius, 90-degree entry.
And I feel like there's a way to go into these tire barriers that can save your car. The way that some of these are angled at 45 degrees, if you hit it in the right spot, you can save your car. He just went into the one that was, perpendicular with his car and kind of destroyed it. I feel like he maybe could have cushioned himself a little bit better into turn one after the initial lockup, but he was a little too committed, and that's going to be a lot of damage right off the start. I think Austin Fitzgerald's had a moment as well.
Yeah,
lap
with this
one,
place,
he got sent around down into turn six. I mean, it's been
this place,
a little feisty.
Unlike the other road courses where you kind of get that leeway. If you lock up, you can kind of put yourself off center, make it through the corner. There's no through the corner. Oh, yeah, the 11's got punted there.
Yeah, he got dive bombed from about 5 car lengths back, and there was no remorse. Austin Fitzgerald with heavy right side damage off of that, so tough break in the early going. But hey, I'm just happier it's closer up front now that we didn't have a kamikaze dive bomb into turn number one on lap number one. So our front pack is not too spread apart, and everybody's pretty clean.
Yeah, Roman did a good job getting through there. I'm proud of him.
He was a little bit higher up towards the front of the field, so maybe he could find his braking point a little bit better.
Yeah, but it's also a rare thing, though, to see Roman go in there and make a mistake like that, like we saw Monday night. I'm sure he's going to be glad we stopped talking about it, but, you don't see that kind out of him.
Oh!
No.
Speaking of mistakes.
Was that
Roger
Tommy?
Pierce. I think it was Roger Pierce.
No, it's Pierce. Come on, man, I picked you.
Heavy right front damage.
Oh, that was a bumper. I thought somebody was flipping.
Oh, man. Well, something is flipping. That's for sure. But yeah, Roger Pierce went hard into the outside wall.
I think we got a replay here of Whitendorf. It's way too hot.
Man. Still got to turn at some point. If you can angle that car to, right along the wall, it doesn't do too much damage. I've seen a couple people get away with it, but you're just not hitting it quite right.
So we got.
Oh man, he's destroyed.
Yeah, that thing is
having a
killed.
hard time getting past Whitendorf. Yeah. Oh no, it's a nowhere to go. 3 wide down there doesn't work at all. Holy cow! Whitendorf, the bringer of chaos, the bringer of destruction.
There's old Conklin out here. Looks like the same race we saw Monday night. Just bad fast here all week. Everything he's been in.
Honky donkey domination.
Just look at the rotor glow, man. I called on it the other night, but man, it's so cool being able to see that in these cars.
So whenever Sean Conklin was not racing for so many weeks in a row, was he really just putting in a ton of practice laps and not telling anybody, and then decided to come back and whoop everybody's ass? Was that his strategy this whole time? Has he been just practicing 8 hours a day? Because I mean, he's been whooping the field every single race this week.
I mean, I'll say Conklin has been really good, but I mean, look at the names we haven't seen in here this week.
That's a good point.
Not trying to take anything away from him because in this race he's got him covered, but man, I'm curious to see what Garrett would have pulled off. But I guess he called into work sick this week.
No, Garrett Maines does present an opportunity for the field, but Conklin has been the one to take it by the horns every single race so far, up to a 4.5-second lead over Vroman. And that's after 2 dominating performances where he, even had to limp it across the line in the B Open after getting destroyed by a lap car on the last lap. Like, I mean, he has just been lights out this week.
I wouldn't even say that was a limp. That was a crawl Monday night in that B Open.
That was one of the funniest calls.
I've rarely seen cars that tore up even finish, let alone win.
After 2 of the most boring races of my life, to have that, it was like, oh man, a little bit of jolt of the energy at the end of the night. Somebody going down to the inside of turn 6 there.
The 3 sliding into the wall.
That's Daniel Doon.
25 followed him in one of the 12s.
Goalie. Daniel Doan was the first one to go way, way too far.
Tommy slips through that with an extra spot.
Turn 6. Easy corner to overshoot. There's Doan going in too hard. Not good. Goalie comes in a little bit afterwards as well. There you go. A little kiss to the outside fence.
Such a tricky corner.
I feel like it's a very fun track to drive, like very difficult. You really have to nail your corners, very unforgiving. And I love like punishing racetracks, but man, it's almost too punishing here. I mean, these guys, I mean, just one good clock to the outside wall and you are off the pace. And well, turn 6 has proven to be the end-all be-all so far tonight. A lot of big incidents down there.
It really does show off the talent level of these Cup drivers, though, on Sunday. The fact that they were able to get around that place last year in the rain.
Well, except Noah Gregson.
No.
He didn't have
was he really a Cup driver last year though? Let's talk about it.
I mean, he might have gone head first into that turn 6 wall like 4 times.
Yeah, I think he was probably browsing Reddit trying to find some spicy memes.
So I'm counting it. Hopefully he doesn't have a redo this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully no weather in the forecast.
Hope he finishes the year this year.
This place deserves a fair shake. I don't think they got a fair shake last year, and it was still a success. So, hopefully.
No.
Oh no! Is that Jason Wallace?
Yep, it is. He was around there. I don't see how you get turned around here without a little bit of help.
It's turn 6 again.
He did not look happy. What we got?
He outbraked himself?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Rear wheels locked up on him.
To be fair, getting out of a spin out of that corner, that's better than most. Most of those would be some pretty hard hits. So
he survived it.
Could have been a lot worse for Jason. Ends up, like you said, he just survived it. I mean, even our leader, I mean, he missed the apex of the same corner this time by a good couple feet. You never know.
Oh.
It's just a couple feet that it takes to have a big moment.
Here's the question. Is the conch falling off? He missed an apex. He's human.
Well, definitely missed a big crash in the background. Well, that's a little bit too deep into turn 1. Oh, man.
Way too deep.
Oh, no. Well, we said the attrition rate was going to be pretty daggum high. And, well, we're only 7 laps into this thing, and we are missing quite a few bumpers.
Oh, and he hits it again. They need to make a camera that focuses on the bumpers that fly off. I want to see where they end up. Oh, again, 76, hard into the wall. Wallet.
Same place. Oh, please nobody come around that corner. Conklin lapping cars already. Is this Stove in front of Wallet after Stove just got involved? Way deep again, just can't get on the brakes with no nose. Wallet just follows him too deep.
It's like the Roval when they had that last restart in 18. Everybody piled it in the corner and into each other. Never want to base your braking line on the guy in front of you. That's the lesson we learned here today.
Yeah, you better pick out your own braking point and stick to it. If you see the guy in front of you brake a little bit later, multiple laps in a row, and you can figure out that it is possible, then yeah, go ahead. But lap after lap, if you're just fixating on the guy in front and you follow their braking point, you very well might screw yourself. We're going to see that a lot on Sunday, too.
Roman's kind of reeled it in a little bit on Conklin. For a little bit there.
Not letting them get too far out in front, just in case something does happen at Conklin. And, well, we all know how difficult lap traffic can be. If you get stuck behind one of those guys whenever they make a mistake, then, well, there may just be nowhere for you to go.
Oh, the 6 hard into the wall. Nixon.
My word. We keep losing body parts.
Just overshot that. We saw that one live. I don't really think there's a need for replay on that, but it's just...
Is everybody... Oh, can they get through?
Oh,
no, he can't. More fenders flying. Connor Nixon taking the toe.
That second stab at it, it's so much harder to get through the corner without that front downforce. The splitter's gone.
Whenever you have that first hit, you don't realize how much downforce you've lost, how much braking power you've lost going into the next corner. You know you've probably lost some, but you just don't want to give it all up. You get on in there and it just does not stick. Unfortunately, Nixon, that's going to be his day done.
And with all this going on, too, all the way through the field, if you're Conklin, you got to be terrified, especially after Monday night, to get near anybody to lap them.
Exactly. I mean, it's just going to be so nerve-wracking getting through these guys, especially in these tight portions of the racetrack around this carousel right here that these guys are going around. I mean, there's nowhere to go if something happens right before this corner or right after. It's just super tight, narrow roads. Any little mistake out of a lap car, and, you know, there's a reason you're lapping them. They're a good bit slower. Maybe they've already made mistakes. They could be a little mistake prone. If they make another one, you might be the one paying the price for it. Or you could make a mistake yourself. Conklin sliding it down into turn 4.
One car coming down pit road right here. Bergoli. Wondering if that's a scheduled stop or if he's coming in to try and fix a little bit of suspension damage because that right side's cheesed up pretty bad on that car.
Yeah, he might have. I think he's ran it far enough to make it to the end of the race, and I think he's probably coming down to fix some of that damage, so it's not terrible for the rest of it.
Another lockup.
Stove just cannot get
really
going anywhere
late
with that thing. Nothing you can do without that front bumper.
Or the brake pedal.
Well,
you got to be on that mark every time coming into these corners.
we're talking about how the gap had stabilized, but Conklin's starting to stretch it back out a little bit. Last lap, he was a good chunk faster than Vroman. This one, kind of even again. Vroman hasn't let him get too far away this past circuit. Going to wait for Vroman to come around to give an accurate number on that, but I suppose the lap beforehand, Vroman had made a big mistake, or Conklin just absolutely nailed it. This time, Conklin's still faster, but it was only by a tenth. The lap before that, it was about 7 tenths, so just kind of paying attention to the 54, making sure we don't see a mistake. You never know when it could happen, when something could shake up the front of the field.
What a cool shot that is on that straightaway there. See the cars coming at you, and you look over the horizon, you see cars going the other direction on the other end of the track. So you see the 26 gets up into the wall here. And parks it. Going home.
Conklin is 5 seconds away from catching 3 lap cars. So we might have a little bit of a nervy moment coming up. Gonna have to get through a couple of these guys in rapid succession. They're all separated by about a second and a half between the 3 of them. There's about a second and a half between them. So
these are 3 cars that we've seen around at some point in this stint too.
You just never know. It could come from anywhere. We're just about a third of the way through this thing. Wouldn't be surprised to see a wrench thrown into it. And Conklin's catching them fast. He's going to be right on their back bumper by the end of this lap.
Yeah, there's just no contest for Conklin here this week. Just so fast.
Wallet locked up in front. Wallet's around. Oh. Conklin gets by. I told you something was going to happen. Close but no cigar. Conklin avoided one landmine. I imagine it won't be the last.
Well, what's surprising is I don't think Conklin has a spotter on the box. He's real lucky to gotten through that one.
Fitzgerald, way too deep, down into 6 again. I'm telling you, man, one lap car got out of the way for Conklin, so it made it a little bit easier. So he's still got a little ways up the road before he really catches the bigger portion of the field. But at some point, he is going to catch another group of lap cars, and it's going to be a little bit tougher. This was Wallet. Luckily, he kept it stopped on the outside groove. He could have backed it up, and that would have ruined Conklin's day. But he kept up there, waited for the leader to get by. All it takes is one misstep, and it could change the complexion of this race.
Huge lockup here for the 25. Does a good job. Well, never mind.
Yeah, just a little kiss.
A little kiss.
He just gave a little kiss. It's all right. It's all right.
Heard the breaking point for that corner was on the rollback. That one didn't land, did it? It didn't land. 76.
Man, Wallet.
Wallet is not having a good night.
Fitzgerald either.
Fitzgerald with a pretty good save there, though, using the wall as a pick to keep him from going completely around.
Yeah, it could have been worse. It's been a little. Oh, I thought he may have went a little bit wider there, but maybe he's all right. I think Wallet might have had another one. I'm not too sure. No, never mind. Never mind. It was the same one before. But we still got a good couple in store for us. Conklin's catching up to more lap traffic, so he's going to have to get through some guys in some narrow portions of the racetrack, or give up a good chunk of speed. As the field is kind of spread out a little bit, we're going to use this opportunity to take our first commercial break of the evening. Whenever we come back, we got a lot more racing action coming at you live from the Chicago Street Race.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to the NiS version of the Chicago Street Race here, the Ryco Performance Friday night top split. While you were away, living good? Well, he ain't living good no more. He's living bad. Coming around the end of the carousel.
I don't know if he's still living.
You don't think he's still living? Have you seen this already? Is it big? Oh, it's pretty big. That's it. Yeah. You're not.
19, hard hit.
I think you're going to be done with that one, and he is done. He called it quits. Probably could have kept going, but he's done with it. Jacob Klein this time. He had just gotten lapped. Running in front of your second place runner of Roman, letting him go. Turning in a little late. Was that it? Was that all it was?
Nope, big slide there.
Oh, no. It registered as a crash somewhere, but I don't think that. I think Klein might be okay. Never mind about Klein, but living good is not living good. I think Villapando might have crashed too. Down into 6. Not too heavy. Just a hit on the right front. Not too big. Not too big. Doesn't really warrant a replay. We've seen bigger down into turn 6 today.
Roman still holding back, 12 seconds back now from Sean Conklin. Conklin just absolutely flying. Old Schneider sitting here in 4th place.
I think it's safe to say he's put in the most practice this week out of anybody.
Yeah, you tend to do that when you win every race you sit down for, so.
I mean, there's still some heavy hitters in here, right? Like Roman's no slouch. Roger Pierce, quick. A lot of these guys up towards the front. Very fast guys. You know, I know Maines ain't here, but Conklin has still put 12 seconds on guys that typically run up front every single week in NiS. So it's still pretty impressive what he's doing. That far out in front, only 16 laps in. Come on.
It's massively impressive. But just, it's one of those, driver track combos. You come to a place and you're really good at it and nobody has anything for you.
I just want to point out, ever since I coined him the Conky Donkey, he has not lost a race.
There's going to be no living with you after this, is there?
I just want to point that out. If he goes a perfect 3 for 3, I mean, I think I played a hand in that.
You know what? You should give him to pay you for it.
Oh, side by side, one to the wall. Was that Nolan Hodgson that found the fence?
82 degrees Fahrenheit, nice and sunny, so 98-degree track.
On the track, not very hot.
Hey, it's better than when that 2 or 3 week stint where iRacing just gave us thunderstorms as the weather every race. That was fun. Good talk, Edstrom.
Sometimes I zone out.
we see that.
Well, It is Chicago. Sometimes Conklin just gets out to too big of a lead, and you kind of forget where you're at for a second. Did you say that?
Oh, big slide out of the 12.
Devin Stove. What happened to Devin Stove this time? He got a bumper back on that thing, but I got a feeling. It's not going to be there in a moment.
On board here, and it's.
Oh no.
What?
I think he called it
Fifth
quits
verse,
after this one.
same as the first.
Relentless. Why are you
A lot
hating
of
on the
guys are
guy?
gonna be glad to get out of here this week.
Oh, man. I'm ready to go back to an oval myself. I haven't put any laps down. I'm really looking forward to getting back on the standard
Oh,
race.
Conklin into the wall there in the short shoot.
I think Conklin
Pretty
is
hard
the
hit.
only one that Conklin's the only one that knows how to drive this place, it seems, and he still puts it in the fence. He's just pushing on the limit the entire time, though. I mean, he's not even he's not slowing down one bit. He's not taking his foot off the gas. He's not saving. He's pushing this thing 100% all out.
Just the amount of confidence you have to get around here.
You know what helps with confidence?
Oh, what helps with confidence, please? I need to know.
Having a good setup under you. And at Ryco Performance, we're more than a setup shop. We're a performance provider, preparing you weekly with data and setups to get you ahead of the curve of the competition. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or a weekend warrior, our cutting-edge data packs and one-on-one coaching sessions are tailor-made to push the limits of yourself and your virtual race car, giving you the winning edge that you crave. Why should you choose Ryco? We have expert craftsmanship by a team of seasoned builders, cutting-edge performance enhancements tailored to your vehicle, and unrivaled coaching and reliability to handle the most demanding circuits on the iRacing platform. For more information, visit us at ryco-motorsports.com, where we build champions and deliver results. Big thank you to Ryco Performance for sponsoring the Ryco Performance Monday and Friday night top split, letting us come out here and do this every single week, getting to call these fantastic races, and getting to see Sean Conklin kick the ever-living heck out of everybody else.
Man, if Conklin wasn't in this thing, man, we'd have one hell of a battle for the lead.
That's a good way to look at it. So why don't we watch the battle for a second? Why don't we watch Pedro Oliveira try to catch up to Roman? That might be the tight spot on the racetrack. 16, finding the fence. Daniel Keane again.
Yeah, he's still stuck on the fence. I got a feeling he's going to pull that thing over and call it a night. Looks like he did.
Bam. Done. Not the first to call it quits. We've had quite a few. Only 18 still on the lead lap out of the initial 33 to start the race. So a lot of guys with problems so far. We're only halfway through. We've already lost just about halfway of our cars.
Right on board right now with Oliveira. Through the front straightaway, just about a second behind Roman.
You said we were gonna have 8 cars on the lead lap. I said 10. Are you sticking with 8?
How many we got left? I had ADD for a minute.
18.
18?
17 now.
Still got a lot of race to go. A couple guys there in that top 10 I know are good for a spin or two per race at a normal track, so I'm going to hold my cards to my chest on that one.
I have faith. I have faith in the field.
I've just become judgmental in my old age as Roman's got a couple of lappers here in front of him. Villapando.
Oh, getting down to 6. It's always nervy. Picking up behind a lap car 2 down to that corner doesn't sound very fun. And seeing 2 right in front of you as well coming through this very narrow section. Not quite as fun. Can't quite spot your turn-in point. A lot of tight corners. Walls jutting out at you. Just trying to dodge them. Make sure you don't get any huge damage, but you've really got to tuck in close to the wall. Roman gets a little sideways. Giving up the spot. That's second place. Switching hands. Oliveira through to second. Roman just with a nervy moment through the narrow section. Could not quite get through there. As fast behind those lap cars. Just got put off. Got a little loose. Oh, gets around another lap car finally down to turn number 1. But he's lost touch. Oliveira. About a second gap over him now. Coming down into turn 2 a little bit over a second. Stops looking like they're kicking off, though. A couple people deciding to come down pit road. We are a little bit past halfway, so not too big of a surprise. Can't take a full tank, though. Just going to be sitting in pit road a little bit too long. Conklin's still cutting these corners tight, not leaving much room for error. Flirting with disaster every lap, but that's why he's got a 16-second lead over the second place runner right now. I mean, he's just been absolutely flying, even through traffic, not giving up a lot of time.
Hey, Esther, you want to know something crazy
What's that?
that I heard not too long ago, by the way, about one of our drivers up here?
What's that?
Top 5. Well, I heard Pedro Oliveira is driving one-handed.
What?
Well, he's
How do you do
he's
that
only
here?
got I don't know, but it is absolutely mind-blowing to know that guy's only got one arm. He's out here just absolutely destroying these guys in second place. Just I don't know how you do that. I can't get around here with both hands in a road map.
I don't know how you could be shifting at the right point, running any kind of decent speed. I'm a little confused. If that's accurate,
it's accurate.
I wish
Trust
I
me.
could see. How's he downshifting?
Well, I'm sure he's got something rigged up with the buttons.
I guess it's just a button with his thumb or something.
Yeah, I mean, especially with these cars being sequential shift too.
Still, I feel like this is a tough place to switch it up.
Nah, he's knocking them dead out there for sure. Second place, Sean Conklin, doing something great. I said,
well, we're going to use this opportunity to go to a little bit of a Ryco Rev It Up as we've got the field spread out. We want to show you guys the sights and sounds from the inside of Sean Conklin's cockpit. Welcome back. We hope that you liked to learn how to drive this track from the great Sean Conklin, the guy that's got just about a 20-second lead. If you had to learn from anybody, that would probably be the guy to learn from, as we've learned tonight. Led every single lap so far. Still has not come down pit road. We know a lot of these guys up towards the front. Still going to have to pit. Looks like our highest runner of pit stop makers is Matt Baker in 9th. So he'll probably jump a couple positions, but he is the highest runner of anybody that has actually come down pit road, and the only one in the top 16.
Right now we got Conklin out here lapping Wallet. No, and we got one around.
Oh no! Make that.
Conklin's in it.
Involved, and that's heavy damage. I told you it was only gonna take one moment. It was only gonna take one moment.
We got it right on board. See what the damage is.
Conklin's hurt.
That's what I was just about to mention too.
14 laps. Does he have enough of a lead to hang on?
Levin
Gerald
just gets
goes
in there
around by himself. Wallet can't see anything. Oh, that's
nowhere
heavy
to go.
contact. Look at the right front. If we can get a good look, I mean it's bad.
Right front's killed. I want to see what the onboard looks like. I want to see if he's having to fight that thing.
Leads down to 13.5 seconds. That's gonna be a tough one.
The good news is it looks like the toe link is in. The wheel looks straight there through that little bit of straightaway we had. Let's see once he gets here on the chute. Yeah, everything looks good on the front as far as that goes. So crisis kind of averted. Now he's just got to stop the bleeding.
Can he hang on to the lead? He's got 13.5 seconds that he's got to hang on to over 13 laps.
Got a car behind him playing peekaboo.
Oh man, this is like a more aggressive version of of what happened on Monday, right? That was only one lap, but the damage was more aggressive. This one, the damage was less aggressive, but he's got more time to lose it.
I mean, he got a good bit of luck there, because remember the other race he was absolutely destroyed by the time he got destroyed the second time. This time at least
fair.
he doesn't have to fight the toe link being knocked on it.
Well, does that mean
like
that
he
he's
did
going to get
Monday
destroyed
night.
one more time?
Well,
We're going to repeat what happened on Monday?
law of averages. You got
I'm nervous.
a big field here, and a lot of these guys have been having a hard time getting around it. And he's going to be lapping them all here at some point. Just
Kinda scares
shy
me.
of 10 laps to go. And he's still got to pit too, I'm sure.
He hasn't lost any time this lap, though. He's got it back under control. Still 13.5 seconds. So a good lap there from Conklin, even with the damage.
No, Conklin just nothing short of impressive this week. That is for sure.
You never know, though.
Times
That damage could lead to one more mistake. Just a little bit tighter through one corner. And that's all it takes here.
something about this car, this
section,
this
man.
driver, this track. I don't see, reason to sound the alarm just yet. Been too driven this week to make too many mistakes.
He's still got more mines to get through, too.
Oh, yeah. Now, that's going to be the problem in itself.
He's catching 2 more lap cars, both within 5.5 seconds of him. So, a couple more mines right in front of him, and then even after that, there's a couple more.
Oh, Austin Fitzgerald around again, in front of cars.
The one that caused the one from earlier, coming out of the last corner this time for Fitzgerald, having a rough time tonight.
Yeah, the 3 of Asada's going to get by him here without any incident. Let's see. I wonder if it's back brake lock up again. Yes, it was. Chased it up the track this time, though, instead of keeping it pinched down the bottom. And, something happened with Wallet here. Just locked it up, getting in again. Conklin working on lap traffic again here, going through the short chute. handful of cars in front of him.
When do they come down pit road? Do they, like, if you're Conklin, should you come down as soon as you get through this lap traffic, or right as you get into it? Yeah, Klein lets him go, but he's got a good chunk of cars a little ways up the road. Maybe run another lap or two and then pull down pit road and try to stay in the clean air.
Here's another question, too, though. He was good on fuel Monday night. I wonder if he's going to be able to save, if that's something he's been looking into.
No.
Because I don't know exactly what the window is.
He ain't going to save. He's not going to be able to save down to 38 laps. Nobody can make it on Monday night. Not the A
I
Open.
swear they did. Could have swore they did. I must have smoked something this week and just forgot exactly.
Well, Conklin's trying to get through another lap car. 15th place runner Gavin Simpson is the next one up in front of him. Just hoping that mistake doesn't come out of Gavin right in front of Sean coming down into turn number 4.
Oh, look at how
corner.
close.
Conklin already has the damage.
Just look at how close he carries that left side in the apex of these corners to that wall.
Gavin lets him by. Conklin getting through, making it easy on him. Good job there from Gavin, and Conklin able to continue to build his lead. 13.5 seconds. It is still stuck at. I think that damage is hampering Sean a little bit, but it's not hampering him enough to lose time to Oliveira there in second.
The man, the myth, the conk. Just ain't nobody got anything for him this week. You see Oliveira really tight there through the corners. Running a great race himself. A few seconds ahead of Roman now. You know when you come out here and you see Roman in your mirror that you're doing something good.
Yeah, he passed him a couple laps ago. Done a good job putting some distance between them. Can Roman maybe run him back down? Can Oliveira maybe capitalize on a issue for Conklin in front? We'll have to wait and find out after our final commercial break. When we come back, we got the finish of this thing coming at you live.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Plug the podcast.
Welcome back to the Ryco Performance Friday night NiS Top Split. Conklin is still hanging on to that 13.5, 14 second lead, even with the damage. He's done good, but we got to think that those pit stops are coming soon. We think that they got to come down.
Yep, we got some guys coming in.
In front of Conklin, I think Hodgson is coming in on the inside. Conklin's coming in too.
Conklin in.
Here it is. When he thought these guys had to come down pit road, Conklin going to get a little bit of the damage repair done too, as you got to think he's not going to take the tires, so he'll have like 5 or 6 seconds of damage repair. Probably not going to do too much, but you never know. Maybe it'll fix a little bit of an important spot.
Yeah. Conklin sliding into his box here. Good entry on his pit box. Looks like just gas for the race leader.
Yeah. Well, there's only 6 laps left. If he took tires, he'd be crazy.
You need tires, you fool. Oh, sorry, that's cars.
Excuse me. I hope we don't have... I mean, that's basically what the B Open looked like. If his competition was any bit closer, it would have looked like that. Fortunately for him, he had built up a 40-something second lead. I mean, just ridiculous. Tonight, not so crazy. Not quite that huge of a lead. After everybody cycles out with the pit stops, he'll probably be back to, 12 or so seconds. 14, 15, somewhere around there.
Somewhere in that ballpark.
Maybe a little bit more. He had a pretty good...
Oh, Oliveira with a big slide coming into the short chute.
Uh-oh. It's going to extend that lead. Here's the thing, too. I feel like Conklin's like a true racer, man. Like, he gets out front and he's still pushing 100% every lap. Like, he's got the biggest lead in the world, and he doesn't back it down and, like, protect.
Nope,
He's looking
road
at
here.
He's looking at stretching out that time difference as much as possible.
One machine.
He doesn't want anybody to be
road
close.
here. Conklin back to the lead here.
I mean, Oliveira is not even stopped in his pit box, and Conklin's already passing him. I mean, goodness gracious. And that's after him getting involved in that incident. Pierce had damage early, and he still had a good day running up towards the front.
Yeah,
Hasn't really compounded that issue.
Him and Conklin just about have the same car. Damage even sits the same on him.
I think Conklin's is a little bit more severe.
Yeah, a little bit.
And look at that, the lead is stretched out to just about 17 seconds after the pit stops. So Conklin is putting a whipping on him. I mean, it's just not even close.
And
it looks like we're not going to get to that number
here
on the lap down cars. 14 guys still on the lead lap.
Left machine Fitzgerald here. Big slide in again. Just back end comes out on him. It's been the problem for him all night.
Ugh.
Oh, and there's Wallet. Wallet into the wall here, coming into the corner.
Oh, no.
We got a wreck. Pierce.
Roger Pierce and Matt Baker coming together. Coming out of 6. What in the world? Pierce was having a good night.
I hear frustration on the driver chatter right now.
I'm not surprised. Coming down into turn 6. Does he just get dove? Oh, no, he locks it up himself.
Back end locked up.
Oh.
Heavy wheel hop, and 12 machine was just right there. Nowhere to go. No time to react.
Yeah, nowhere for Baker to go. Baker was up there too, having a good day. They were 5th and 6th. I don't think that either one of them lost any spots, but they did lose a good chunk of time and a good bit of damage. Donkey Conklin, yep, Conky Donkey, baby. Conky Donkey leading this thing by 17 seconds. That's what I like to see in the chat.
There it is again, right there. Just big lockup, and around she goes.
12 cars still on the lead lap with 4 laps to go. Conklin's coming to take 3 to go. So we're winding down to the end of this thing. The one good thing about the road courses on iRacing is the no cautions. We would be here all night if we had yellows at this place. I mean, could you imagine?
We'd be on lap 15 right now.
Holy cow.
I've never seen somebody drive a place so perfect. Lap after lap, 3 races in a row.
You say that. Watch him make one big mistake just because you said that. You're kind of the jinx king.
Oh, it's going to take a blown motor for him to lose this thing.
He's still got some lap cars in front of him. We were talking about mines earlier. You never know.
Whoever need the burst bullets.
Oh, Conklin. Conklin just popped the fence himself. Pretty good. I'm telling you, it's not over until the checker flag comes out just because of how treacherous this place is. You never know. It takes one little mistake out of somebody, and it can just completely obliterate your race car. We saw it on the last lap on Monday night. Yeah. It could absolutely happen again.
Tommy's out here running pretty good. P7 right now.
True.
We know road courses aren't his forte. He's kept it clean, start to finish here. Not a mark on that car, really.
There we go, Tommy.
It's good performance for you, bud.
And I used to run league races with him whenever he sucked. I mean, so bad. He's come a long way. Tommy's watching this. He's gonna hate me for that. But man, he was like a little 2K iRating. Like, he made a lot of mistakes. He's doing a lot better, man.
You got Hisada right behind him in the 3 car, back in 8th, running pretty good. Had a couple mistakes early in this race, but bounced back pretty strong. Made up some track position on a pretty good run. And, you know, a couple names you're not expecting to see out here in the top 10. You got Payson and Miller, 9th and 10th, too. Haven't really talked about them today, and I guess that's for good reason.
Because they haven't made any mistakes. If you're in the back half of the top 10 here, it just means that you've ran a clean, tidy race, nothing too crazy. Keep that car clean, but you weren't ridiculously fast. But you had a good night.
Hey, you're like a good underdog hitting above your weight class. Let everybody else get out here and make mistakes.
Yeah.
Tear their cars up. Go out here, get yourself a good finish. Learn something.
Nothing wrong with that at all. It's a good night.
Good confidence booster, too, because you know, these road courses are tricky. If you can get out here and run the top 10 in an NiS, you're doing something right.
Yeah, especially the street course where you're just completely closed in everywhere. No runoff. If you make a mistake, you're damaging your car, right? I mean, this place is tougher than just about everywhere else, especially on the road course side of things.
Just survive the attrition, get out there and run well. That's a good jump in iRating, too, for the 30 machine, too. To finish 10th here tonight. It's going to be a massive net gain for him in the points.
Sean Conklin's coming to take 1 lap to go. He's got 16 seconds over Oliveira. And that white flag is waving Conklin one more time around the streets of Chicago. We've got a replay. Schneider running in the 4th place spot, coming down to turn 6. It's been a trouble spot all night. Oh, man, way too deep.
Oh. Big wheel hop, way too late on the entry.
You can ride that.
Bounced it back out, though.
Exactly. He hit the wall in a way that it might have not completely killed the car. It's where he can maybe finish this thing and keep his 4th place spot. It'll be tight. He's got 3 seconds over Matt Baker. Conklin, though, he's got half a track. and then he's going to see the checkered flag.
I think Conklin's got it in the bag here. Just getting your braking points. Limp the car around the track a little bit if you got to, just to keep yourself from making any mistakes. Not that he's made any tonight. Just absolute domination, start to finish. Same thing we saw Monday with him. You know he'll be looking forward to coming back here next year if we do.
Yeah, Conklin absolutely loving this racetrack this week. Going 3 for 3 in the Ryco Performance Monday and Friday night top split races this week from the streets of Chicago. I mean, an absolutely dominating performance after absolutely dominating performance after absolutely dominating performance for the 54. The Conky Donkey comes out of the final corner, and he's going to win the NiS version of the Chicago Street Race. I mean, ridiculous. The entire week, he has just been the class of every single field. Over 15 seconds is going to be the margin of victory for Sean Conklin tonight. What a drive, what a performance. Only 11 cars on the lead lap.
Pedro with a really good run too, being able to get himself up to second place there behind Conklin and in front of Roman.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's something to hang your hat on too at the end of the week, especially on a track this difficult.
Schneider can't limp it home to 4th. He's fallen to 6th place. Is he going to lose out another spot to Tommy? He's still fighting back there a little bit further back.
Oh, Tommy's around.
Oh, Tommy. Oh, he gets
still
destroyed again.
Getting clobbered by the 3.
No,
just
Tommy.
shy of the start-finish line. Oh, man. Hyped him up. I shouldn't have. I jinxed him. Here we go. We're going to see what
Coming
happens
down
here.
to the last corner, he just outbrakes himself.
He's trying way too hard. But, you know, Tommy's aggressive. We know that. Right behind Schneider. Shades of Ken Block here.
He was running 7th. He only drops to 8th, so it could have been worse. But there was not really much for him to gain there. I feel like Schneider was a little bit too far in front. If you just get out of there normally, I don't know. It was just maybe a little bit too hopeful from Tommy. But regardless, Sean Conklin's going to be your race winner. No surprise there. Going a perfect 3 for 3 on the week. We're going to take our final commercial break. Whenever we come back on the other side, we're going to try to get an interview from our top 3 finishers. Welcome back to the conclusion of tonight's Ryco Performance Friday night NiS Top Split. Sean Conklin brings home the W, a perfect 3 for 3 this week. Pedro Oliveira in 2nd. Nicholas Roman rounds out your podium. Matt Baker finishes 4th with Roger Pierce in 5th. Jacob Schneider 6th. Toga Hazada in 7th. Tommy Gossett in 8th. John Payson in 9th. And James Miller rounds out your top 10.
11th place, we have Kevin Buhalasa. That's a fun name. With Nathan Mata behind him. 13th place is going to be Jacob Skater with Nolan Hodgson in 14th. 15th place, we have Miller Bonds, followed by Gavin Simpson, Brad Wren, Austin Fitzgerald, Danielle Fargiarani. I messed that up, but oh well. And Jacob Klein round out your top 20. Sorry, junior brain enacted there.
21st is Jason Wallet. 22nd, Edgar Amontello. Daniel Doan in 23rd. Luis Villalpando in 24th. Daniel Keenan 25th. Paul Bergoli in 26th. Zachary Livinggood in 27th. Devin Stove in 28th. Lucas Abreu 29th. Connor Nixon in 30th. With Jerry LePage, Brent Stevens, and John Whitendorf rounding out your 33-car field. Next up, we're going to interview a couple of our top finishers. First, Sheldon Atkins is going to get to interview our third-place finisher of Nicholas Roman.
Roman, man, hey, you didn't kill your whole team going into the first turn. That's all I got. No, I'm just
a little
giving
bit
you crap.
I guess. Friday night to Monday night, yeah.
Yeah, no, a lot of improvement. I mean, you looked really good out there. You and Oliveira had a pretty good battle going on there early in the race. But what did you think that you needed to just get up there and tussle with the conky donkey, so to speak?
I'm not calling that, but I don't. The kid's good on road courses, man. I feel like we definitely improved on our road racing skills. I think we've come a long way, but still nowhere near him. But I'll take a P3. It's a pretty soft field. There's a lot of good people out there. I was able to beat our team leader Jacob Snyder tonight. I feel like I outdrove him, so that's good. He's probably feeling a little weak. Ken's got him on a diet plan. Trying to bulk up. It's bulking season, so. But I think a P3.
I mean, yeah, you got to get him swole up. A lot of big races coming up here the late half of the season. So, anybody you want to thank or shout out for this one?
I guess I got to thank Sean for all the work he put in this week. Ken as well. Jacob, puts in a lot of work. Shout outs. I know Sean did well. I'm gonna my daughter now, but yeah. Shout out to all those guys on the team, man. Shout out to you guys in the booth, and shout out everybody on track. It was pretty fun. Good racing with Pedro. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, it's good watching you up here. Hope next week goes pretty well for you. You have yourself a good night, all right?
No, you too. Thank you.
All right, that was your third-place finisher, Nicholas Roman. Next up, we're going to pull up your race winner, the Conky Donkey, Sean Conklin. He goes up perfect 3 for 3 this week from the Chicago Street Course. Sean, what was it about you and this racetrack that just seemed to click?
Me and the racetrack are pretty good together, but I'm also pretty good together with lap cars. Had a lot of incidents with lap cars throughout the week, including in this race, but hey, it made it more exciting for you at least. I mean, that should have gotten you out of your chair right there, that lap 25 incident. But yeah, after that, we're just kind of trying to limp it home. We actually had to make sure we didn't blow up because the water temp was starting to skyrocket after that. And yeah, so we're just kind of limping it home, managing the temps, and just making sure we didn't blow up and lose the race. So yeah, beginning of the race was really good. Put down some really good lap times that I'm happy with. Still making adjustments to the setup that I think are making it even better. And yeah, it was a good night.
Yeah, we were a little worried with that incident that it was going to hurt your pace. And I mean, I think it did because you stopped pulling away. Instead of pulling away, you kind of stagnated. The gap didn't really gain. It didn't really shrink at all. So I think it definitely hurt a little bit, but it didn't seem to completely destroy it. Were you nervous that was going to be enough to really, knock the reins out of your hands there?
Yeah, I was worried about what the pace was going to be. And it was bad. Like, it was really tight after that, just because like we had no front downforce because the splitter's basically gone. We don't even have a splitter on the right side of the car. So yeah, it definitely slowed down, but I'm happy it didn't slow down enough. So I was able to just kind of like take it easy. I could have pushed harder, but knowing that I had that damage, I just wanted to take it easy and bring it home.
Sean, who do you have to thank at the end of this one after an absolutely dominating performance and a perfect 3 for 3 on the week?
Ryco again. Just we kept making this setup faster and faster throughout the week, and we're still working on it, and it's still getting better and better. So yeah, just shout out to them and everyone that's worked on this all week long. And that's about it.
All right, Sean, thank you for coming up and talking to us once again. Very busy up in the broadcast booth for you this week. So we thank you for giving us a good chunk of your time after these races. And congratulations once again on winning from the Chicago Street Course.
Thank you. Hope it stays that way.
Yeah, we're looking forward to talking to you more, hopefully next week.
Hopefully.
All righty, that was your race winner, Sean Conklin. And well, that's going to do it here from us at GridVision tonight. And from the entire GridVision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations to the Conky Donkey on winning tonight from the Chicago Street Course. This has been Austin Edstrom standing alongside Sheldon Atkins and our producer, Austin Derbyshire. We will see you next time on the grid.